I hope you recovered from the World Series title last night. It is now time for a featherweight showdown in our main event at Fury FC 71 on UFC Fight Pass. But first, we get our prelims started with a stacked card featuring the next wave of standout amateur fighters and pros looking to take the next step, live from the Imagine venues in the City of Champions. It is time for these fighters to unleash the fury. And welcome in, I'm Rahil Ramzanali, joined by the black belt himself, Michael Alexander, and the future champ, Alex Morono. And I know everyone's tired from the World Series, and I get that, but it is fight time, and these prelims are going to be banging.
Yeah, a lot of good debut amateurs coming on this card tonight. I can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. Let's get started by joining the fourth member of our broadcast team inside the cage right now, World Series Wayne. Take it away, Wayne.
Good afternoon, fight fans, and welcome to Escapade at Imagine Venues for Fury FC 71, Quintana versus Richardson. But first, please welcome to the blue corner for your opening preliminary contest, Connor Caswell.
Connor Caswell, 2-2 record, second time inside the Fury amateur cage. Just letting everybody know the next 5 fights, amateur rules in play, all amateurs. Exciting time for these fighters to showcase their skills, learn a little bit on such a high-profile card.
Yeah, and being familiar with the setting is so good. Connor actually opened up the last Fury amateur show. He was the first fight of the night, and man, his fight was wild. It was a one-round fight. He ended up getting a TKO at the very last second of the first round, but he had his opponent on skates. This guy's an action fighter.
Yeah, and the thing that always stands out to me about Connor Caswell is 6 foot, 135 pounds. That's a big bantamweight.
Yeah, and he uses his length well. He's pretty powerful. I mean, if you guys have the time, you know, go on Fury's YouTube page and go watch his last fight. It was a fun one.
He does have really patient stand-up, which is a lot of fun to watch. I think he'd be a little bit more aggressive in finishing fights, going back, watching some of his fights, as you talked about, Alex, has so much power and explosiveness, and once he figures out how to finish fights, he's going to be dangerous. Let's meet his opponent.
Isaiah San Miguel.
Isaiah San Miguel, 0-2 record, fighting out of here from Houston, Texas. Don't let that record fool you. Made his debut in 2019. Didn't fight until 2022, until Fury Amateur Series 36, where he lost to Nathan Regino. But he's been fighting since he was a kid. So has a lot of skills, a lot of talent. Just trying to put it all together, Alex.
Yeah, I remember watching him fight. He's scrappy and he's tough. So like you said, Rahil, that 0-2 record doesn't quite tell the whole story. I did notice there was some defensive flaws in his striking last time. Keeps his chin kind of high and his hands a bit low. And as these amateurs are getting more competition experience, that's when you got to make those corrections. And he does have his hands full tonight in his opponent, Connor Caswell. Isaiah San Miguel's got to bring his A game if he wants to put on a good performance tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun to get us going with these bantamweights. Just looking at the height difference, as you mentioned, Michael, 6 foot for Caswell, 5'7" for Isaiah San Miguel. So we'll see how that works out. Let's go inside the cage for our official introductions. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening preliminary contest is scheduled for 3 rounds, brought to you by Renfo in the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in at 135.4 pounds. Fighting out of Eunice, Louisiana, he holds an amateur record of 2 wins, 2 losses. This is Connor Caswell. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 135.8 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, today he seeks amateur victory number 1. This is Isaiah San Miguel. Your referee in charge, Professor Joe Solis.
Professor Joe Solis gets the first assignment of the night, making sure everything is good. We're going to get the cage door shut. That would be important. We actually had one of our commission members locked in the cage, so he is now out. We are ready to go. 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds scheduled for this fight. Touch of the gloves, blue gloves for Caswell, red for San Miguel.
You see a little bit of that. Oh, sorry, Alex. You see a little bit of what you talked about earlier. San Miguel coming in, kind of attacking with his hands down.
And he is scrappy, but he does keep his chin high, which is just asking for trouble. Good takedown there early from San Miguel.
No shortage of volume from San Miguel today. He's staying aggressive as the fight starts here in the first minute.
And then you can see the size difference between these guys as well.
Going back watching Isaiah's fights, the 2 previous ones. Got a little...
Definitely a headbutt.
Yeah, we have a short malfunction. Make sure that Velcro is nice and secured. But looking at San Miguel's previous fights, wanted to see a little bit more explosive action out of the young fighter, and definitely looking a lot more explosive right now.
Yeah, anytime you're fighting somebody with, with a non-tucked chin, hooks are usually going to be the way to go.
And especially when you've got that long reach and you're kind of a long body there, that faint jab to hook is going to be a real go-to if it's in your arsenal.
Nearing the halfway mark of round 1.
It's a nice little back fist there from Caswell. Good combo there from San Miguel.
Yeah, I'd like to see, nice head kick there from Caswell. Little ring around the rosy there from San Miguel. Caswell's starting to pour it on now.
San Miguel just committing to taking this fight to the ground, exposed himself, now has that leg, but loosens it up.
So yeah, heel hooks are not allowed for the amateurs. Straight ankle locks are good, straight knee bars are good. This is a good straight ankle lock, but Caswell's not looking to tap.
Yeah, that actually looked very close. He actually had a very good straight ankle lock, but
between these guys as well.
A long fighter like that, anytime you grab their feet, still are taking damage there. They can still reach you. And I think Caswell kind of realized he could still reach him and still do some damage from there.
Decent grounding power here from Caswell. Good combo there from San Miguel.
Yeah, San Miguel he's got to get out of there. That's it. San Miguel from the bottom just wasn't defending himself anymore. Took a few shots, and like we've said before, these amateurs are not going to allow him to take a lot of damage, Alex.
No, yeah, that wasn't a bad stoppage at all.
Good to see Caswell finishing the fight, being more aggressive in finishing fights. Awesome start.
Yeah, I think San Miguel can go back to the drawing board and just work on some of those technical deficiencies.
Yeah, nice job this time by Caswell. He used his length a little bit, and actually, not a bad fight for you to be in a little bit of trouble in. San Miguel did land some shots. Caswell took a little bit of punishment there. You can't really see it on his face. Maybe a little mouse under that left eye, but
so
no worse for the wear for Caswell.
I think that mouse was actually from that headbutt that the ref actually called a quick stoppage for.
All right, let's take a look at all round 1 highlights, including this finish. Saw San Miguel coming in hot, aggressive. And then Caswell just settled in a little bit, started picking apart San Miguel until he gets into the ground. And this was a big mistake right here, in my opinion, where he just committed to that for no reason. And
yeah, he almost pulled guard, which was strange, but that led to the TKO loss. You can't go on bottom voluntarily in MMA.
Absolutely. Let's make this official. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Joe Solis calls for a stop to the action. 2 minutes, 46 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO, Connor Caswell.
Congratulations to Connor Caswell. Moves his record to 3-2, above 500. That's always nice to see, but the experience is the big story here for Caswell. Gets the finish he was looking for. Final pictures. Love to see that. Let's get our next fighter here. Here's Wayne Leggett for his introduction.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Sean Magnus.
Sean Magnus, the winter soldier. I like that. Must be a Marvel fan.
It's funny, you know, it's his debut. He's already got a fight name.
Yep.
That's a tall order.
Fighting out of 10th Planet in Austin. We're going to see our guy Andrew Craig here in just a second. Talked to Andrew earlier in the week about Sean, and he said, man, Sean is such a fun fighter, young, 20 years old, has high-level wrestling, was wrestling on a state level back in high school, has been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since he was a kid, high-level purple as well as that. Striking is getting really good, but as you can tell, it's a debut, so all of that kind of gets thrown out the window when the bullets actually start flying.
Yeah, but it does show you he can be a dangerous opponent. If he can put it all together, the lights don't affect him, the cage doesn't affect him. He puts that together, a very skilled guy in here to have as a debut opponent.
Yeah, that's a strong resume for an amateur, especially that state-level wrestling. That is a lot of competition. I guarantee you Magnus is no stranger to feeling the pressure of live competition. Those wrestlers often thrive in this environment.
Yeah, especially at the amateur level, they'll get in here and they'll just overwhelm their opponents with their strength and power.
Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Ryan Cook.
Okay. Turn of the mat. I like it. Ryan Cook. The Ryan Cook. And Michael, interesting background for him. Navy veteran, still also active right now, right?
Yeah, so Navy guy like myself, and you know, he wins the walkout song contest so far with Return to the Mac here. A little confused about how it's Return to the Mac in his debut, but we'll let him sort that out inside the cage and see what he's talking about here.
Fighting out of Houston. Hear the cheers in the background for Ryan. By the way, this is a welterweight bout.
Yeah, I saw at weigh-ins. Cook had a good frame to him, good physique, and he was in no knock a bit brash. And you need that if you're going to do MMA. But he definitely believes in himself, and we'll see if he can't here back it up in this fight. He does have a tough fight on his hands with the resume of his opponent, Magnus. This will be a fun fight. We don't get to see welterweights that often as amateurs.
Yeah,
it's my weight class. I always enjoy watching them.
Let's take a look at our tail of the tape. The 36-year-old Ryan Cook. Coming in at 168 pounds, 5'11", the height, just an inch difference. The reach, 72.5 for Sean Magnus, 70 for Ryan. And Ryan is definitely built like a Navy vet.
Yeah, absolutely. He lifts a lot of weights, you can tell.
Absolutely. All right, let's go inside for our official introductions. Here is Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 170.2 pounds. Fighting out of Soldotna, Alaska. Today, he makes his amateur debut. This is Sean Magnus. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas. Today, he seeks amateur victory number 1. This is Ryan Cook. Your referee in charge, Jeff Rexroad.
Man, if I'm ever asked about man strength versus just, look, Magnus is in great shape, but you can see Cook is just built like man strength. That's grown man strength right there.
Yeah, Cook looks like if Kenny Florian and Rafael Lovato had a kid, they would have Ryan Cook.
Good right hand from Magnus. I say there's 3 types of strengths. You got man strength, weightlifting strength, and then mat strength.
Yeah.
Magnus, he's got some mat strength, and you see with that quick mat return. And he's riding on a body lock ride.
Mat strength is by far the most frustrating of the strength.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there are guys that don't look like it. Wow, good work on the ground thus far for Magnus.
Mat strength, also called resistance strength training, and that's just, you don't let guys pull on you. You see Magnus got a decent attempt at a choke here. I mean, it's under the chin. It's figure forward.
Yeah,
we're going to see a
that
tap
is it.
Work here.
That is it. A tap for the 10th Planet
And Mike, like you said, it was that wrestling pedigree. I actually had one of my guys make his debut a few weeks ago, and he had some high-level state wrestling, and he thrashed his opponent, instantly grabbed him, threw him, and TKO'd him from the back mount. I mean, these amateurs with that state-level wrestling, they got a tremendous experience.
Yeah, I was talking to Andrew Craig about him right before the fight started, and Andrew told me that this is probably what's going to happen. He predicted this exact scenario, and very nice debut for Sean Magnus. Welterweight division better watch out for him.
Man, that was awesome. Let's take a look at the highlights. Got it to the ground and just started implementing that choke.
Yeah, once he got him here, I mean, fundamentally, Ryan Cook didn't do anything right. I mean, he never tried to get off center. He really didn't fight the hands. And he chokes the position. I say it all the time because you can't try to fight him hand to hand. You're usually going to lose that match.
The winner soldier.
He's earned it now.
Yeah,
hey, man,
he's definitely
killed it.
For sure,
He's
Captain America on our hands.
All right, let's go to Wayne. When he gets inside the cage in just a second, Wayne is just recapping last night's World Series win with some of the commission. Now he's good. Here he is. Let's make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 51 seconds into the very first round. Declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Sean Magnus.
Man, what a debut. I think we all just circled Sean's name as somebody to watch out for. And our next fight coming up, there's another guy that we've circled before. Can't wait to watch him. And it's rare, like for the amateurs. I love watching the amateurs because we get to see their storyline start. But man, this next fight I have circled as one of the fights I'm going to watch. Let's get it going. Here's our first fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Gerardo Lazaro.
Gerardo Lazaro making his amateur debut. This 150-pound catchweight fight was scheduled to be a featherweight fight, but moved it to 150 last minute because of some weight cut issues. But nonetheless, we're here. We have ourselves a fight, which is awesome to see. And Gerardo Lazaro fighting out of Eagle Pass, Texas.
Yeah, it makes me happy to see the catchweight fights coming up because, Alex, back in 2009, 2010, if you weren't close to making weight, they would scrap your fight really, really quick. And, the catchweight fight at the last minute just wasn't a thing. They would do it early, but they usually wouldn't do it like right before the fight came up.
And that goes to show, I know Aaron Garcia and Rich Burmaster, they were working at weigh-ins, making a lot of these catchweight fights happen. I mean, it was unfortunate a lot of guys busted weights. Some of them busted weight, but they ended up finding a compromise and getting it done. And I'm happy we get to see a lot of these fights go down tonight.
So for our prelims audience on YouTube and Facebook, it is officially off. Joshua Van against Tyler Bielecki. That fight is not happening because of weight cut issues. So just wanted to mention that to everyone watching our prelims. That is officially now out there that it's not happening. All right, let's meet Gerardo's opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Josh Alimon.
Yeah, I told you, I usually don't get excited for amateur fighters. Look, I respect amateur fighters, but I never circle them. I circled this one. Josh Alimon.
Did he get that jump knee KO? Is this him?
Josh Alimon.
Okay. Yeah, he had a highlight reel knockout for the ages in his last fight. I mean, something I could never do. I just don't have the athleticism for it. He just jumped through a right knee and just slept his opponent. I mean, it's everything you could hope to achieve in a fight.
Josh Alimon, Michael, the next wave of amateurs as well that have earned developmental contracts with Fury FC, where sponsored by the Fury Unleashed podcast, where they take care of all the medicals, because you can't obviously pay the amateurs via an organization, but they help out with stuff like that. And here's the other fun fact. You don't see this often. He's also signed by an agency, somebody you know very well.
Yeah. Jason House and Iridium have signed him at 2-0 as an amateur. You don't typically see people clamoring for a guy that's 2-0 as an amateur. But Jason House probably has more fighters on the UFC roster than any other agency out there, and recognizes talent. Recognizes talent when he sees it.
Our tail of the tape brought to you by Clean Fight Disinfectant. You see that reach advantage, height, 3 inches advantage for Joshua Alimon. Both fighters, as we mentioned, we did have to adjust the weight here about midweek. They said, let's just make this a catch weight bout and everything is good. The 23-year-old Joshua Alimon, man, watch out. And I'll give you some more about his background in just a second, but let's go to Wayne for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest brought to you by HKA USA is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, he weighed in at 153 pounds. Fighting out of Eagle Pass, Texas, today he makes his amateur debut. This is Gerardo Lazaro. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 151.8 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, he holds an amateur record of 2 wins, 2 losses. This is the All-Star, Joshua Alimon. Your referee in charge of the action, Professor Joe Solis.
Joshua Alimon ran track in college, was All-American in track and rugby, has wrestled on the state level as well. I don't know where he found all this time.
It's just amazing how when you're good at something, time finds you. You know, and it sounds like he was good at a lot of things, and now he can add MMA to the things he's good at also, showing real promise here as a young amateur here. Ooh, nice shot.
See, and even the way he threw that 3-2, it was clean, it was technical.
Training at Strong Style MMA, head coach Richard Burmaster, Samantha Burmaster, the actual coach, the brains of the operation.
And they've been on a tear this year.
Yeah. I think unofficially, I want to say, because Victor got a win last week as well at FC 70. And then they were 3-0, 4-0 before that at amateur level, so they've been on a tear. Good to see that for all their fighters.
Joe Solis got to be on his horse today. He almost got knocked down there.
Oh!
Big jump knee again. Those are so hard to land. Like, not only do you have to throw it perfectly, but your opponent has to be at the wrong place at the wrong time for that to, for that to actually sleep him.
And from that distance, Alex, he was far away and landed that from way outside the pocket.
And that knee threw it landed. It didn't land super flush, but I mean, that would count on a copy strike.
Yeah, and it landed on the way down. If it would have landed on the way up, this fight might be over by now.
Nice kick there from Lazaro.
Good right hand.
Oh! He did it again!
Oh my!
Oh wow! He did it again!
Joshua Alimon with a second jump knee TKO. Oh my! Hollywood!
Anyone who gets snatched up with them, you got to look out for that jump knee.
I don't care.
Struck twice.
His nickname is All-Star. I'm calling him Hollywood because this man is electric and it's all about the highlights. Wow.
Oh my God.
I want to see that replay, man.
Big flying knee there. And he's not finished yet. He's taking his coaches down in the ring now.
Oh, man.
Here we go. We see that first flying knee here. And then a decent combination. And then here we go again. You see he's out before he hits the ground. Referee Joe Solis doing his own Superman save there.
That was a good stoppage.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he went stiff. It was like he got tased when that knee hit him.
Yeah, I would have done nothing but got worse from there.
Oh, yeah. And props to Lazaro. He was scrapping it out. He's tough. He was right back on his feet. But, I mean, he definitely got knocked down pretty hard at that knee.
Wow, he did
Congrats
it
to
again.
Alimon. That was awesome.
Woo. Man, what a win for Joshua Alimon. Let's go inside to make this official. Here is Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Joe Solis calls for a stop to the action. 1 minute, 43 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by knockout, the All-Star, Joshua Alimon.
What a stud.
Man, congratulations.
Man, That was incredible. That young man has a bright future. You see the entire coaching staff. Del Fuego, Victor in there. Raul, one of my old training partners, one of the OG homies, love him. Congratulations to Strong Style MMA. Let's get our next fighter out here.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Cade Foradori.
Man, my wife just texted me. She just was like, damn. That was awesome.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see that on UFC Fight Pass, the social media page.
Oh, yeah.
Man, all right, well, let's get it going because we have another exciting amateur fight for you. Cade Foradori fighting out of 10th Planet Austin as well. Had a chance to talk to his coach, Andrew Craig. He told me this kid has the most creative striking in the room and said it's going to be a fun debut. Just be ready.
Yeah, this is cool. 22 years old, 4-0. He's fighting a 20-year-old, 2-0. Of all the amateur fights, I had this one highlighted as just maybe the most fun. They had great energy at weigh-ins. This is going to be a really active, really fun scrap. And it's going to be necessary because topping Alimon's last performance is going to be quite the task.
Yeah, and I talked to Andrew Craig before, and when we see Andrew here, we always talk to him. I've never seen him this excited about his 3 fighters that are on this card tonight. He's very, very excited about these guys. He's been very excited. I've stopped by 10th Planet quite a few times. I've never rolled with any of these guys, but I'm glad I didn't. Glad I stayed away from them.
And he has the most beautiful mullet in the game.
Not a bad mullet. Not a bad mullet.
Let's go to Wayne.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jared Gallegos.
Jared Gallegos, 2-0 record thus far in his young amateur career. First time fighting here inside the Fury amateur cage. Made his amateur debut in May, has fought twice already, both fights. First round TKO. So he has that power, he has that aggressive stand-up. Watching his older fights, you're gonna see some awesome kicks.
Yeah, we see his coach, Eric Mercado, in his corner. He's a Fury Pro veteran. He's always fun to watch. All the guys on the team, they just got heart, they got skill. I mean, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're super great people to be around, too. If you talk to them outside the cage, they're always very, very nice, very, very funny, very humble. Really, really good group of guys over there.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see him in the Fury cage in December in the last fight card of the year.
Yes.
Our tail of the tape brought to you by Howlerhead Whiskey. Forget everything else on your screen right now. This is a mullet matchup, okay? I'm just going to rate the mullets right now. This is more exciting. Height advantage for Foradori, reach advantage even, 22 against 20-year-old. Love that, but it is all about the mullets here. I guess the loser has to shave it, right?
Man, I don't know. Jared Gallegos has kind of baby hair. I think Cade Foradori wins this one.
I don't know. It's a nice little flow back there. Let's go inside to Wade for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by SheathUnderwear.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Featherweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in officially at 144.8 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, he holds a perfect amateur record of 4 wins, no losses. This is Cade Foradori. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in at 143.6 pounds. Fighting out of Amarillo, Texas, he too is undefeated as an amateur, holding a record of 2 wins, no losses. This is Jared Gallegos. Your referee in charge, Jeff Rexroad.
Blue gloves there for Foradori, red for Gallegos.
Gallegos got that Eastern European haircut. Reminds me of Chechnyan criminal. in the most positive of ways. Southpaw versus Orthodox. Both guys move very, very well, very fluid. Oh, good left hand there for the fighter from Austin. Returned with the right hand from Gallegos.
Good active footwork for Gallegos.
Yeah, Gallegos with those Muay Thai shorts. You can definitely see some of that in his fighting style here. These kind of high-stepping knees.
Yeah, both guys are pretty rangy for the featherweight class, using a lot of kicks.
Big left connects there for Foradori.
It's really the boxing, though, in MMA that can set a strong standard.
Yeah, so far kind of turned into a kickboxing match here. Not much of a threat of going to the ground so far, and that's fine with us.
I mean, Gallegos, he's throwing hard. He's got great offense, but his chin is nice and high in the air, and his hands are a little low. That works well until it doesn't, until you get cracked in the wrong spot. But, it seems like that's kind of Gallegos' style, almost like bait him in so you can get your head off center line and throw a big combo of your own.
Yeah, I think the most important whenever you have that fighting style is you have to have the vision that goes along with it. And so if you don't, you kind of close your eyes whenever you throw punches, or you close your eyes whenever you're taking a punch. It's one of those things that's kind of learned. Very nice foot sweep there from Gallegos.
Gallegos sticking that tongue out as well. A little showmanship inside for the young fighter.
As a promoter, this is the kind of fighter you want in Gallegos. He's all offense. As a coach, maybe not.
Yeah.
This guy's fun to watch.
Yeah, and more what I was talking about, his eyes are wide open. You watch Alex, when Foradori's throwing a punch, Gallegos' eyes stay wide open. When he throws a punch, when he lands, whatever it is, his eyes went a little crooked there.
Man, that was a smooth kick off that combo.
Honestly, he ate it pretty well.
Yeah, still coming forward. Ooh, nice left hand there from Foradori.
Well, Foradori's good. He's got a good, sharp, straight left.
Yeah, and you see now, all of a sudden, Foradori's coming forward, and Gallegos is
Oh!
Ooh, big punch there.
He talks some trash back at him. That's the one issue. If you get a little cocky in a fight and you get hit, it's coming right back to you.
Yeah, got to remember there's only 3 minutes here in these amateur rounds.
Rexford's ready to break these guys up.
Man, I don't know how to score that one because there were some ebbs and flows. Woo.
Man, I think Foradori won that with that last exchange there.
Me too.
If it wasn't for the cage,
Memorable.
Gallegos would have fell down.
Yeah.
Gallegos, it made him bust a 180, and he kind of stumbled out of there. And granted, he recovered quickly, but that was the most damaging strike. More so than that caught kick and foot sweep, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But
the final flurry there from Cade Foradori. And I don't know, that split second of talking trash might have changed the outcome. Could have rushed there just a little bit faster because it looked like Rexford was running there to jump in if needed. So
sure wasn't out on his feet.
Yeah. All I know is if there was a door on that side of the cage, Gallegos would be on the floor right now. So to me, that's a four-day round. He did land a few punches, not just that big exchange, even though he took a few. And then the big foot sweep, 4 days landed, jumped right back up. No damage done there. So
yeah, good highlights. With his left hand, bang.
Yeah, you see there's the retreat there. Gallegos does a good job of recovering though. You're right, Alex.
Both fighters did touch gloves. Nice to see that. Leaving that trash talk in round one. We're going to the second round for the first time tonight on this prelims broadcast. Foradori against Gallegos.
I was starting to think we had a bunch of one-round fights scheduled.
Yeah. Might have to earn our paycheck today and going into a second round. A little bit more calculated now for both fighters.
See Foradori's stalking a little bit more as Gallegos tries to kick him off.
Yeah, it looks like Foradori's corner told him that don't want him taking that damage. They want him to be a little more calculated, and probably didn't like the fact that he celebrated a little bit. Whenever he got that knockdown.
Whoa. A little creative kick there.
Yeah, a little blood sport going on here.
Sometimes it's best just to simplify your success. And if I'm Foradori, and as coaches, I'm saying to use the boxing, find the jab, find that lead right hook so you can set up that very precise straight left that he's already landed a couple times in this fight. You can even see the damage on Gallegos, right on his nose and his mouth's a little red. The best tool of Foradori is that straight left.
Can we get some Muay Thai music in the background now?
And like usual, I'm messing up Foradori's name, so Foradori, the guy in the yellow shorts, is really good.
Foradori's toughest moments is when he's throwing kicks. He's just getting knocked off balance with Gallegos' front kicks, or he's getting them caught. I'm telling you, he's had the most success with his boxing. And it can be challenging for the fighter to acknowledge that in the heat of the